What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the B-Dubs Movie Hub. Brian here, and I've got a top 10 list today. This is one I thought about back in May. Before I even created this channel, I was kind of thinking of this idea. I was talking to some friends about some movies and our favorite actors. It's no secret that Bruce Willis is one of my favorite actors, so I wanted to do a top 10 Bruce Willis movies, not including Die Hards. Little bit of a twist there. Die Hard would absolutely be on this list, but it's not. And just as a little bit of an experiment, I wanted to see what my list would look like in a world where Die Hard didn't exist.
Look, you Eddie Munster-looking motherfucker.
Hypothetically speaking, of course. So stay tuned for my top 10 favorite Bruce Willis movies, not including Die Hard. Bruce Willis has had a career that has spanned over 4 decades, going back to 1980 with some uncredited roles all the way up through 2023, which is basically around the time that he retired due to his illness. He's just done so many classic, action films. He's got some suspense films, a couple comedies in there. I've seen about 42 Bruce Willis movies. That's just basically off Letterboxd. He's had well over 100 credits to his name, so I know it's not a ton in the grand scheme of things, but I wanted to go through, like I said, and just list off my top 10. As I was reviewing the list the other day, I realized I had a glaring omission, and I needed to sneak one back in there, somewhere kind of up in the middle. So I'm actually changing this to a top 11 Bruce Willis movies, not including Die Hard. Just because Die Hard is not on the list, I figured I would still wear a Die Hard shirt, so this is my John McClane Funko Pop Die Hard shirt. At number 11, I chose The Jackal. This, along with Bruce Willis, stars Richard Gere, Sidney Poitier, J.K. Simmons, Diane Venora, and Jack Black in an albeit relatively small role. But what I like about this one is that it is a rare Bruce Willis villain role. He's the bad guy. And, you think about his career, and he's plays a lot of cops. He plays the good guy almost all the time. I really enjoyed seeing Bruce Willis as the bad guy. So he plays a hitman that is hired by Russian mafia to avenge the death of his brother. Richard Gere is then brought in to help track him down. So again, I enjoyed this one. I actually just rewatched it the other day, and just a really fun, different role for Bruce Willis than what we're used to. All right, number 10 on the list is Last Man Standing. This is from 1996. It is directed by Walter Hill. It stars, along with Bruce Willis, Bruce Dern, William Sanderson, Christopher Walken, David Patrick Kelly, who has worked with Walter Hill before on The Warriors, Karina Lombard, Ned Eisenberg, Michael Imperioli. There's a pretty extensive cast here. I really enjoyed this one. Willis plays John Smith, a mysterious stranger who is drawn into a vicious war between two Prohibition-era gangs. Just a really good kind of, it's almost like a film noir. There's voiceover. He's kind of telling the story. I enjoyed it. Again, this is another one. I actually just rewatched this the night before I watched The Jackal. I just kind of wanted a refresher on these two because it had been so long since I had seen them. But that's number 10, Last Man Standing. And there's a couple that I do not own on physical media, and one of those is going to be number 9 on my list, and that is 1991's The Last Boy Scout. This is directed by Tony Scott, and it co-stars Damon Wayans, Noble Willingham, Bruce McGill, Halle Berry, Danielle Harris. In this one, he plays Detective Joe Hallenbeck, who was protecting a woman who ends up getting killed, and her boyfriend, a star football player played by Damon Wayans, decides that he wants to investigate, so they basically team up to see what happened and kind of uncover this whole big corruption ring. I remember watching this movie all the time back in the 90s. I countless numbers of times. I had it back. I had it on VHS. Like I said, I don't have it on physical media right now. I should probably pick up the Blu-ray, but I'm hoping that maybe it gets a 4K release at some point. Really good movie, really fun action flick from early 1990s. So that's why it's number 9 on my list. Right, on to number 8, and that is going to be 2005's Sin City. This is directed by Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller. I believe Quentin Tarantino may have also had a hand in directing some segments of this one. This stars, along with Bruce Willis, Jessica Alba, Clive Owen, Mickey Rourke, Rutger Hauer, Benicio del Toro, Alexis Bledel, Michael Madsen, Powers Booth, Nick Stahl, Michael Clark Duncan. There's just a stacked cast in this movie. This is, an exploration of the dark and miserable Basin City and 3 of his residents, all of whom are caught up in violent corruption. Bruce Willis plays Hardigan in this one, who is kind of like a hard-nosed. I believe he's a detective as well. It's been a minute since I've seen this one, but I loved it. It's mostly black and white with some spats of color here and there, but it's just an overall really good, really fun movie based on a comic book, and that is Sin City. Moving on to number 7 on the list, we've got 2003's Tears of the Sun. This is directed by Antoine Fuqua. It co-stars Monica Bellucci, Cole Hauser, and Eamon Walker. This is just another really good action movie. This one, he plays Navy SEAL Lieutenant A.K. Waters, and along with his elite squadron of tactical specialists, they're forced to choose between their duty and their humanity, between following orders by ignoring the conflict that surround them or finding the courage to follow their conscience and protect a group of innocent refugees. This is another one from the early 2000s that I kind of watched all the time. Just really gritty, really good action movie. I really enjoyed the supporting cast here. Cole Hauser was really good. It was kind of early 2000s when he was trying to make a name for himself. Monica Bellucci is also really good in this. So that's going to be Tears of the Sun. That is number 7 on my list. And number 6 on the list, I also do not have a physical copy of yet. It was just announced to get a 4K release coming up in October, and that is going to be M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense from 1999, co-starring Haley Joel Osment and Toni Collette. I don't really need to tell you much about this movie. I think most people know it's one of M. Night's kind of first movies with a big twist. He plays a child psychologist who is working with Haley Joel Osment's character who sees dead people. So just overall, really good movie. I always enjoyed, kind of rewatching that. It's been a while since I've seen that one, so I'm really looking forward to catching up on that 4K that comes out in a few months. That's going to be number 6 on my list. M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense. All right, we're moving into the top 5. Number 5 on my list. This is embarrassing to say, but this was my glaring omission, and I really can't believe it because I watched this movie so much. I'm pretty sure I saw it at least twice in the movie theaters in 1998. That's going to be Armageddon, directed by Michael Bay. There's just an all-star cast in this along with Bruce Willis. We've got Billy Bob Thornton, Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler, Will Patton, Steve Buscemi, William Fichtner, highly underrated actor, by the way. I love William Fichtner. Owen Wilson, Michael Clark Duncan, Peter Stormare. I mean, it's just what a cast that this movie had. I know a lot of people kind of didn't really, think the movie made a whole lot of sense, but I mean, you have to extend your disbelief here a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's a movie about a bunch of oil drillers that are sent to blow up a meteor. It's just a super fun, super awesome movie. This is actually one of the very few DVDs I have left. This is the Criterion version. This is spine number 40. I guess they don't have the rights to it because they never released it on Blu-ray or 4K, but I kept the DVD just to kind of have this in the collection. But 1998 Armageddon, I watched this shit all the time. All right, number four on my list of top 10 Bruce Willis movies, not including Die Hard, is going to be another M. Night Shyamalan movie, and that is Unbreakable from 2000, co-starring Samuel L. Jackson. There is not much I really need to describe on this one. I feel like it's been around for 24 years. It's a classic M. Night Shyamalan and Bruce Willis movie here. I really enjoyed the the superhero story here. It's not based on a comic book or anything like that. It's just a unique hero story about a man who realizes that he has superpowers, and kind of his way of dealing with those and working with Samuel L. Jackson's character. So just a really good twist there at the end too. I really enjoyed this movie. It's Unbreakable from 2000, starring Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. So we're into the top three, and number three on this list is going to be 1995's 12 Monkeys. This is directed by Terry Gilliam, and it co-stars Madeline Stowe and Brad Pitt in probably one of his best performances. He was so good in this movie. This is just such a good classic sci-fi movie. Takes place in the year 2035. Convict James Cole, played by Bruce Willis, reluctantly volunteers to be sent back in time to discover the origin of a deadly virus that has wiped out nearly all of the Earth's population. It is just so good. Very unique story. I enjoyed it. It's top three for me, for sure. It's just really good. I haven't watched this 4K yet from Arrow, but I'll probably kind of do that soon because it's I haven't seen it in a few years, but it's so good. If you have not seen 12 Monkeys, please do. Moving along to number two on my list, and that is going to be 1994's Pulp Fiction. This is my second favorite movie from 1994 overall. That's how good it is. uh, there's one that beat it out. If you want to see what that is, I do have the Rad 9 challenge for 1994 video. I'll link that at the end here. But 1994, Quentin Tarantino directed this movie. It's another one, just an all-star cast. Bruce Willis isn't even the main character in the movie, but it co-stars John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Ving Rhames, Harvey Keitel. I mean, this is just a wild bunch of actors that they were able to get for this one. I don't really need to give much of a description here, but he plays Butch Coolidge, who's kind of a washed-up boxer who gets into the mix of the shenanigans here with Travolta and Sam Jackson. So just such a good movie. I mean, I can't imagine there's anybody that hasn't ever seen this. But if you haven't, you need to. Even if you don't like Bruce Willis, I mean, just for the rest of the cast alone and just the story, it's just so good, so good. So that brings us to number one on my list, and that is going to be my favorite movie from 1997 overall. I'm not sure if you've guessed it at this point, but that's going to be The Fifth Element. This is just one of the best sci-fi movies from, I think, the late 90s. It's so good. You have such a great cast in this one, along with Bruce Willis. We've got Mila Jovovich, Gary Oldman in another outstanding performance, Ian Holm, Chris Tucker. It's just so good. Even though the story, taxi driver is unintentionally given the task of saving a young girl who is part of the key that will ensure the survival of humanity. It is just so damn good. Um, I would think that this could be on the tops of a lot of people's lists. Even if you don't like Die Hard, like I feel like this is just that good of a movie. It's just so fun. It's directed by Luc Besson, who has put out some good work in the past. But I mean, just overall, the cast. I think this is another one of Gary Oldman's best performances. Um, I've spoke about him in another video previously, Red 9 Challenge video. So, um, if for any reason you have not seen The Fifth Element, I highly recommend it. It is fun. It's epic. Epic is a good word for this one. An epic sci-fi movie. So check it out if you haven't. There's another one I probably should upgrade to 4K at some point. I'm sure it looks amazing. But even the Blu-ray is going to look fantastic. All right, everybody. So that is my top 11 Bruce Willis movies, not including Die Hards. Let me know what you think of those down in the comments below. List out your top 10, top 11 non-Die Hard Bruce Willis movies. I mean, hell, maybe you don't even like Die Hard. Maybe that wouldn't even be in your top list regardless. I hope you guys liked the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm on Letterboxd where I do some reviews on there. I have an Instagram page and a Facebook page. I'll put the link to those down in the description below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.